He is so close to letting a real quick one go on Jakey.
I'm not sure that'd be a smart thing with Jakey.
I think it'd come back with plenty.
Bit of interest on top for Jakey.
Yeah. Big game, Thursday night footy in Melbourne, the home of football, the MCG, Carlton and Richmond. You couldn't want any more. Murphy out of the middle for Carlton. A couple of late changes in the Carlton side. Of course, Cruiser and Watson out of the selected team. Short ball gobbled up by Cochin.
Play on.
So you're assuming that Jakey King is going to play that defensive forward role on Chris Yaron and really try and get in his face. Good effort there from Jeffy Garland. He was quiet in round one.
That was a risky kick across the ground side. An attacking play by the Tigers didn't come off.
Henderson tried desperately. Richmond had 3 players at the fall of the footy. Ended up with Grigg. Thought his way nicely out of that and tidied up for the Tigers, although Cochin was put under pressure as a result of the handball by Allard, who was a goal kicker last week.
Gee, that's a pretty red-hot decision, that is, as you need umpire saying dragged it in. Free kick.
Allard immediately to the pocket looking for Waite. And just a little niggle there. We'll see it over for the first score of the game.
Well, Waite would have been preparing this week for Alex Rance to play on him, but David Asprey has gone to Jared Waite, and that was a pretty hot decision, but I think Trent Cotchin did pull it back in. They'll pay that every time.
Gee, that hurt Grimes. Just back into the side this week. Out to Hampson, the former Blue. How will he go tonight? Stubbed his toe there, but found Deledio. I think the last 2 games these sides have played, Deledio has been pretty good. Home and away games anyway.
I think he might have got Brownlow votes in both of those games, I think, Brian.
So he likes the big occasion here.
I think the ball movement for Richmond will be something that they've done a lot of work on this week, Richo. When to go quick, when to hold on the footy, to change direction more. It was a real issue for them against the Gold Coast in round 1.
Thomas wasn't the best of kicks. Really should have got a deeper entry. What do you reckon of that, Dars?
That's trouble, that is.
They've gone too far with that. Well, they haven't been paying that one, but I think that was there this time.
That's the dangerous one. It was Vickery had his head over the footy, and I'm not sure he knows exactly where he is at the moment, Ty Vickery. That should have been a free kick.
Did he initiate it at all? Or?
Well, the ball was there at ground level to be won. We'll have to have another look on it before we can really comment. I thought he was attacking the ball at ground level.
There's Cochin around the corner looking for King, and there he is, Vickery.
And that's a great effort from Ty Vickery. We're critical of him in round 1. Well done to him for his attack on the footy first up. That's a dangerous hit. Kate Simpson knew what he was doing. He tried to pull out of it, but that's the dangerous situation, and it probably should have been a free kick, but he's got straight back up, and he's pinged hard at the footy, Richo. He spent a lot of last week trying to get one out the back. That's exactly what his coach would want out of Ty Vickery.
2 last week for Vickery, and a lot falls on his shoulders tonight. Very close to the man on the mark, and in the end he had to pull it left to avoid the man on the mark.
Yeah, didn't have much momentum there from 50 metres out there. He has the match up on row.
Such a basic thing, getting your stepping right as you approach goal. You should never turn your back on the man on the mark, so you know exactly where he is. Kick back into play, stolen by Newman. Played some time forward last week, immediately around the corner. Edwards will go back from 35.
Big night for Shane Edwards. Richmond's small forwards didn't have a big impact last week. Jake King comes back into the team. He'll add something in that area. And Shane Edwards plays most of his footy as a small forward, can go on ball. This is an important shot on goal for him to get his confidence going.
Very mild conditions out there tonight, quite warm in fact. Edwards, 40 metres, really nursed that magnificently through for the Tigers.
Yeah, good start for Shane. That was a beautiful kick on goal. It came from an intercept mark from a kick in. Chris Newman didn't waste any time, turned around, and generally there's always going to be someone free if the opposition can mark a kick in, and Shane Edwards found himself in a little hole there in the forward pocket, and great finish.
Nice ball there from Edwards to guide that one through. The Tigers have got the start they needed. Warnock in the middle. Hampson there as well. Got a lot to prove, hasn't he? There's a former Blue, now Tiger. Grigg again on the chase. Got Martin running in support. Saw Dad sitting in the stand here tonight. Mitch Robinson approaches with some aggression.
So no Daniel Jackson for Richmond, and I think the tagging role at the moment is Bryce Gibbs. They've got in their sights, I think, Richard. Brandon Ellis around the contest. Matt Thomas went to him early. Looks like they're going to put a bit of work into Bryce Gibbs. Yeah,
I think he'll be the one they put more time into than anyone else, and after that, really does. It's anyone's guess who's playing on anyone in the midfield these days, but I think Gibbs will be the one that will get a bit of time at this stage.
And Richo, also on the flip side, it's Ed Curnow who's got the job on Cochin. Cochin on the bench at the moment. So he's just come back on the ground, but Curnow's going with Trent Cochin.
Aaron Edwards, one of the emergencies for the night game, sitting with Martin's father. There's Greg, little handball outside to Alice, and he had the acid put on him during the week. That kick not quite to Rewald. Gee, gloved it beautifully on the half volley. A little look away from Jake King. Now Alice gets it to the teeth of goal for Vickery, and it floats through. Brandon Alice.
Well, what about that? The pick-up from Jack Rewald at pace, the half volley, is absolutely sensational. I love the fact Vickery's come leading out, flat out, taking a mark. Rewald's attacked the footy hard, something they probably didn't get a lot of last week. That's a really good sign for the Tigers, a really good start for them.
Well, this is fantastic play from Jack Rewald. That's not an easy pickup, coming full pace on the lead, and that is a great finish around the corner from 50 for Brandon Ellis, who had been running with Gibbs for a few minutes before that goal. A good way to get on the scoreboard for him.
Beautiful soft hands pick up there, as Richo alluded to, by Jack.
I think the positive early for Richmond, BT, is both key forwards have come up at the football. Yeah, that's your obligation as a key forward. You have to hit up at the football.
And that did not happen last week, Richo.
No, I think last week there was just too much come from behind stuff, no doubt about that.
Damien Hardwick took the step after the game of singling out a couple of players. You know, coaches do that often. Brandon Ellis, one of those, said he needed to get more out of him. Looks like it's worked early. He started beautifully.
Gee, that's a good kick from Martin. He made Hampson run into that space then with the angle of the kick. That's not so good. Warnock against his old sparring partner. Waite keeps the arms free. Had no one to give it to. Dustin Martin just brushes them off, as only Dustin Martin can. And to make it 3 in a row for the Tigers, they're on fire.
They're on fire, right? Great call from BT. They're up and about. Tiger Army back. There's Dustin's dad. There's Aaron Edwards. And brilliant effort from Dustin. Pickup was enormous, and they are right out of the blocks here, the Tigers.
Yeah, it's a bit of a carbon copy to what we saw last year, Dustin, the Richmond Carlton games. Richmond got off to flyers in those games, and then Carlton were able to come back each time.
So what do you do now? You're a Carlton midfielder. They've kicked 3 in a row. What happens?
Got to get hold of the footy. You've got to slow it down. You've got to take a bit of momentum away. At the moment, they just can't get the footy at all. They've only had 8 touches, Carlton, and we played 8 minutes in the game. So get the footy, show some leadership, and just hold on. You have to kick the next goal if you can't.
And no doubt, Dustin. I think they have. Sorry, Lingy, we'll go down to you.
I was just going to say, Richard, well done to Mark Murphy, the free kick against Carlton here, holding the ball to Richmond. But Mark Murphy, that centre bounce, just made sure he won that clearance. That's what the leaders have got to do, like you said, Dust. Stand up and win those hard contested footies. You've got to get some entries, because Richmond have got all the momentum.
Asprey, half back to half forward. Yaron leads his man King to the footy, and King wanted him from the moment he got it. There was a bit of ding-dong before the bounce. Deledio with purpose around the corner. Over the back, Rewalt. And happy to take it over the line was White, and lucky, I thought.
That's what I love about Jakey King back in the side. Here's a celebration from Dustin Martin. Do they know this means a lot to Tigers? But he's got presence. You look over his shoulder and you think, well, what's he going to do, Jakey? Mac Thomas got one high. Or it might be the other way. Conscience got one off the footy.
Yeah, you're right about Jake King. He just brings something to the game every time, whether it's a tackle, just his presence around the football. He makes something happen, Jake. He's not a high possession winner at half forward, but generally something happens when he goes near it.
I thought he just got accidentally sandwiched there, but they said didn't have a fair opportunity to win the footy. So here is Cochin, an angle that's Very achievable indeed, as you can see from there. And that is good. That is 4 in a row for a yellow and black mob at their own punt road end.
Nice finish from Trent Cotchin. Not sure that free kick was there, but he's gone back and made the most of it. And they're off to a flow. I wouldn't be surprised if Carlton dropped someone behind the ball at this centre bounce. They need to get their hands on the ball now and just gain some possession.
This way.
Trent Cotchin, the 4th Richmond goal in 9 minutes. Richmond by 24. Look at the little man in the ruck in row. As the second ruckman, of course. Cruiser out of the selected side tonight. So Warnock, the only real ruckman for the Blues. Morris. Simpson gets onto it, runs onto his left. Really good user, sees Bell.
Marked on the line.
And possibly within range. No one on the mark, so he was able to gain an extra few. And there's the Blues' first responding goal.
Understatement that they needed that. Interestingly, that they didn't drop a loose back at that centre bounce. They moved Henderson back, but were prepared to go 6 on 6 and back themselves in, and they got the goal they needed desperately through that big unit there. Big Tommy Bell.
Really nice kick here from Simpson into Bell. Richmond players there, they all zoned back, and Bell thought, oh, take advantage of this, and gained that extra metre, and that was enough on the goal line. Good finish from Bell.
Yeah, well done by Simpson too amongst traffic. Great poise to get that kick to him. Sharp. That one was heading straight to row. But the Tigers go to Vickery and Henderson.
Well, that's the move they made, is Henderson started forward, gone into defence, but Mick Moldhouse hasn't put an extra back. He has backed himself in this side in and said, listen, let's just still play it one-on-one. A little push in the back there, no free kick, which is a good decision.
See, I reckon that little push then probably would have got a free kick last year. Just don't even think about it this year.
Well, it's just common sense, BT. Everyone knows that Robinson put a little bit extra on it, and just common sense umpiring.
Deledio through traffic with class. High ball, 2-on-1, Blues way. Well done that time. Got some numbers here, the Blues in tight. Really sharp handball from Buckley, wasn't it? Still in trouble, Deledio. Cotchin, look at the little gives here. An opportunity now for Pettit to drive it long. Vickery caught behind. Henderson.
Had an immediate impact, Henderson. That's 2 marks since he's gone back, and he's such a good player at either end of the ground. He steadied them a little bit, though.
They really are a key position player, short, Carlton, aren't they? I mean, they'd love to have 2 Hendersons. Play one in defence and one forward, and it just catches them out a bit at the moment.
Wait. Thought about the handball wide. McLean's on at centre-half forward. He goes the shorter one to Curnow.
Stay there.
Curnow wants to give it and go, so they're away here again. I think it was Buckley that got it in deep. Looking for Gibbs. Around the back door comes the dangerous Scarlett. Little left foot poker. Gee, that is great composure. And Bell for a second opportunity for him.
He's got Thomas at the moment, and he was able to get far too much latitude than Bell. Brandon Ellis is going everywhere with Bryce Gibbs. He was involved in that contest there, but this is great play from Jeff Garlett on his left leg. Composure. And Bell's presented himself in the corridor twice now.
Started on the bench. Tommy Bell kicked the last goal, and this to get the Blues right back in the hunt after a blistering start from the Tigers at G on Thursday night footy. Bell from 25, he's made a real mess of it.
What a horrible kick that was. Just can't work out. But he almost had a stutter step and then horrendous ball drop. Just the lot.
Yeah, I'll let you go on with that one, Das, I think.
Jeez.
Gibbs in front, just away. There he is recovering the foot. He heard the call from Rowe. Rowe did well to get rid of it to Curnow through a little bit of traffic along the ground. So the Blues back inside their 50 again. Bell's doing well, creating a real target. Basher Hawley went hard. Allard was there as well. Hasn't seen a lot of it early in this game, Basher. Curnow, quick hands, Murphy. Corralled by Thomas. Somehow went straight through. He and Ellis turned around front of the goal and misses.
This is down the other end of the ground. A lot of talk about Jack Riewoldt all week. Where will he play? Well, he's the deepest forward, and he was inside 50 when that ball was in Carlton's 50.
So trying to drag his man back, Richo?
Yeah, he is, definitely. And he's the best forward in the team. I think he should be the deepest forward. And that's what he is at the moment.
Jamison, his direct opponent tonight. Chaplin. They're away. Thomas. Two former Port Adelaide players. A wide ball, Martin. So they're in the hunt here. Short little lead comes from Griffiths. Over his head, and Deledio within range on his best day. Went low to the pocket. Vickery body on Rowe was too good.
It's a great kick from Deledio and clever play as well from Vickery. He put his hand up deep. He sucked his defender into looking over his shoulder. As soon as he did that, he led. And Rowe just got caught out. Good body work, no free kick. And Deledio, geez, it helps when you've got a good kick of the footy with the footy in his hands. He just read it beautifully and placed it perfectly.
The thing about the kick is he got it there quickly. He didn't hang it in the air and allow a third man to come in. It was a really good kick, as you said, Dus.
He's elected the right foot banana. The kick of choice. Opens the angle a little, looked good. Executed it perfectly. Did the big man. Tigers by 23.
Well, credit to Ty Vickery, because he had a forgettable first round and told that he's a very honest individual. Took it on the chin, and all you can do is front up the next week and present yourself in a competitive way. That's exactly what the man on screen is doing so far. Well done to him.
This is what Richmond have done so well tonight. Just uncontested possessions down the ground, moving the ball quick, something they learned from the Gold Coast game. They're dominating the uncontested possessions, 34-15, giving their forwards a chance.
Gee, big miss from Bell now, that isn't it? 5 goals to 1. All of a sudden, Carlton a half forward again. Did really well here. Menzel. Round the corner, Yarran with just the one finger, never mind the one hand. Thought about the goal, and the drawing kick was good to Garlett. And is that an accidental knock away? The umpire says yes.
That is the old-fashioned daisy cutter from Chris Sharon. But what I liked about what he did then, you see here, he didn't hesitate. He just played on straight away. That's no hope for a defender. When someone plays on 55 out like that, the defenders can't set up, and gee, the forwards deeper down the ground love that.
Garlett for the Blues. Intriguing first quarter, and that's a little right as well, and they've missed a couple of really good opportunities, the Blues. No excuse, perfect night. Really no moisture on the ground at all.
Didn't look that way at about 7 o'clock this morning here in Melbourne.
No.
It was shocking, the weather, and it's turned out to be quite a nice night.
For those watching around the country, there were late showers here at about 4 o'clock.
Had a pretty good first up game, Sean Hampson, last week in a losing side. 16 hitouts to advantage, number 1 in the AFL.
Strength, turn Tui around. Martin to Riewoldt. Jack.
Yeah, that was, as you said, Brian, in your call, outstanding use of the body by Dustin Martin. He doesn't go to ground, which is why he's such a good player. And then to be able to deliver at high speed to a forward was a really nice play.
Gee, that's just beautiful to get it in the Dukes, isn't it? They've kicked them from all angles here in the first quarter. Carlton have not been able to convert. 4 scoring shots to 6. Richmond by 22. Riewoldt with his first deliberate shot at goal. 45 out, needs it to bend left to right, not enough.
How much better functioning is this Richmond forward line already? Last week in round 1, 2 weeks ago now, only kicked 10 goals, Richo, from 58 inside 50s. They've gone in 10 times this quarter. They've already got 5 goals too. More space, leading up at the footy better.
Yeah, it's just got a better look about it. They're not flying with each other. They're getting individual one-on-one efforts, and that's what you want.
Good effort by Allard. Curnow sees Buckley out the corner of the eye, and Buckley gave it to Allard, who was under pressure. Back to Buckley. Little bit of pace there from Buckley. Henderson back at centre-half forward. And now Richmond to tidy up at half-back. Flostone. Deledio. So this is what you were talking about earlier, guys. When to go and when not to go.
Yeah, and look, modern sides are going to do this a lot. Maintain possession, chip it around, don't give the opposition the footy back easily. But then you've also got to understand when it's time to pull the trigger and go quickly. They got that all out of whack last week.
Push out, Carlton. Push, Carlton.
And even the change of direction, I think that one should have come the other side of the ground for the Tigers. They should have worked it over. They came back down the same side of the ground and they've turned it over.
Robinson with not a really good kick, and Flostone again.
Generally, Dash, you wouldn't you? You come across the ground and shift all the defenders. You don't want to go back in the same way.
2 metres, over.
He's an absolute ripper, this young man, Richo Flostone. He's genuinely tough. He's got composure for a second-year player. I reckon they've got an absolute star on their hands here.
Game 20 it is, and what about that out the corner of the eye?
Yeah, he came in last year and, from all accounts, just went about his business, didn't say boo around the club, and you got to like that when a young guy comes in and just sucks it all up and learns as he goes, and I think that's what Flostone did last year.
Space was in this near pocket if he wanted to give it off. Deledio is a big kick of the footy. Saw in the warm-up, he kicked quite a few from this range. Kick on the way, damn good. Goal umpire had to get around a couple. Richmond have kicked 6 in the first quarter.
That's a great finish from Brett Deledio. Always been a good long kick at goal. And he's off to a flyer. He's had 10 disposals, 4 contested, and a couple of clearances and a goal now. And I reckon the message on the phone there would be, "You're going all right, Bretty." There's Mick.
What do you think his message will be?
Well, I think he just wanted his team to get their hands on the footy and control possession for a few minutes at the moment.
2 concerned coaches there, Robert Wiley and Nick Malthouse.
He's got Bryce Gibbs in his sights at the moment. Bryce has had a lot of attention to start this game, and
Shane O'Sullivan, the manager, thought he was going to cop a roast as well.
You stay out of Mick's way when you're 29 points down in the first quarter.
Ran over the top, Everett. Little one from Griffiths. Just misses to the left.
I think what you do on the bench now is avoid all eye contact as a player when the coach comes down.
Going the long bomb to contested situations here, the Blues, and they just haven't been able to get it to their player.
Leave it on, play on.
So Grigg sends it back deep. Griffiths is there. Little forward of him, punch away. Everett the front and centre. And it's that sort of kick there that isn't coming off for them at the moment. Thomas. Around to Grigg again. Drives at the top of the square. Who's got to run at the footy? Big punch over the back. Well, Warnock's got to do the front and centre. Something he wasn't comfortable with. And again, Everett to Morris. Dropped the sitter. They need a little bit of composure by foot here, the Blues. But let's give the Tigers some credit. Their pressure is really good.
That's a good result for the Blues, because Richmond had numbers behind the footy. Now they can at least set up and neutralise it at a stoppage here.
Your word there, Bristol, is exactly the one. Composure. They have got none of it at the moment, Carlton, at all. It's panic. It's kicking the footy to no one like that.
Yeah.
Their setups are terrible, and their leaders haven't worked out the situation at all. They're just still bombing away.
Well, that should be, if it's called play on, which it was.
Should have been folding the ball.
Yeah, he didn't dispose of it by hand or foot. And I reckon the umpire felt sorry for him.
Here it is, Brian. So it was called play on. Yeah, that should have been holding the ball.
No contact. Murphy on the run is a great side. Mark Murphy off to the left, and it's been the difference between the two sides.
Yeah, that kills you too when you started poorly and then you miss set shots at goal. That one, degree of difficulty pretty high, but Murphy's capable of kicking that more often than not.
Newman used in all parts of the ground these days. Cochin head over the footy, won the high one, shoveled it out the back door. Here's Murphy guarding the dangerous spot. Little one along the ground. Tui.
Another change in structure for the Tigers this week. Chris Newman is down back at the moment. He was up forward last week. Spent most of his career as a defender, obviously.
So Hampson with a cut over the eye here, or under the eye, will come from the ground.
That's interesting umpire on the way out. Take your time. Just cruise off the ground. I'm not sure if you heard that through the effects.
Yeah.
Why would you say that?
Guys, just get the meter.
Get off as quick as you can.
So there's the new scoreboards that have been installed here at great expense. Both ends of the ground. Boy, are they clear, Das.
That looks sensational, don't they? It's
both grounds now, Etihad and this one, have updated scoreboards. Great to see. Martin to Newman. The overlap here is good. Opportunity now for the Tigers to keep going. Asprey.
This is a brilliant response from Richmond after a really disappointing first up week. They didn't play horrendously, but it's a game that they would have thought they would have won first up. But they have come out. They are more aggressive. They're better composed. They are better organised. And this is smashing.
Look at this. They try and talk Chaplin into kicking the footy. They're saying to him, we want you to kick it. And they get their way, and perhaps that's why Buckley probably should have marked the footy. Curnow fumbles and fiddles and faddles. Bell under real pressure. Thomas did well. Buckley had to go. Missed it. Pettard. King wrapped up in a bear-hugging Curnow tackle.
Some good hands there from the Carlton players, though. They were under pressure, and it looked like they may turn it over. There was some slick handballs, 2 or 3 in a row.
The concerned coach in Nick Malthouse. Game 690 tonight in his coaching career. Chaplin got support in Edwards if he can get it around the corner. Thought he could have gone the handball. And now Carlton should win with a 3-on-1, and they do. And with 1:50 remaining in the quarter, Garlett in front here, punched away from him by Newman. Well done by Newman. Really good against the fleet-footed Garlett. But look at this. Allard back to Garlett. Gets a clean look, and he's missed again. What is going on at that end with the Blues?
They've had their chances.
How do you explain what Jeff Garlett did there, Richo? Try and stab a footy 15 metres when you've got all the time in the world to kick it through post high. That is just bizarre.
Counter-attack looks great. King couldn't keep it alive, but that was the time they said to themselves, we're going.
What's he thinking here? Someone on the goal line is trying to caress it through waist high. You'd rather miss it 50 metres back, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you want to try and, I reckon, just kick at a normal height.
Sometimes too smart for their own good. Too creative for their own good, perhaps. Griffiths. Simpson to tidy up. Can go all the way, Simpson. No one in the goal square. A good bounce will see it through. Boy, did they need that with 50 seconds on the clock.
He wouldn't be happy, Damien Hardwick. They had complete control of that football. And just a marking attempt in the middle of the ground had to be taken by Ben Griffiths. Here it is here. That's a sitter. And a crucial turnover in that part of the ground. And an experienced player like Simpson, he didn't need another opportunity. He did that beautifully. Nice finish.
It's clever from Kate Simpson. He actually waved Jarrad Waite. Said, you come and block. I'm capable of kicking the goal. He was instructing on the run. Some numbers back here, Richo.
Yeah, it looks like Richmond obviously don't want to concede one in the last minute. Vickery behind the ball and Newman, 2 loose players.
Richmond by 23 points. No doubt that the Blues have had their scoring opportunities here.
They've actually had pretty good part of possession in the last 10 minutes with inside 50s. It's just that conversion.
It's the Carlton forward line to the right of screen that you just saw. Yaron's in there working hard. Bell had an opportunity early. Kick one, missed one. He's got a free here.
It's on the back of Mark Murphy as well. He's really lifted in the last 5 minutes.
30 seconds. Yaron on the run. Now, can they give him an escort down here? He says, come on, Jakey King. Oh, he skimmed it off King's head. What was he thinking? He really wanted to take him on, but just ran out of ideas when Jake stood in front of him. I reckon he stunned him. King, wide ball, Rewalt, good body here. Has to go, and did Thomas, did really well. Intriguing first quarter of football. Have a look at this. Chris Jaron, what do I do now? There's my man. Oh boy. He's tried to get an edge off the top of the scone. It's Mick Malthouse looking devious. It's at quarter time. Richmond lead Carlton by 23 points.
Really good quarter with 10 disposals, but late in that quarter it was the Carlton skipper Mark Murphy who got them back into the game. He's had 8 disposals, 6 contested, had 4 clearances, and it was the contested ball late in the quarter that kept Carlton right in it.
The MCG looking absolutely superb and supreme as we start this second quarter of football. And there is the man that Richo spoke of. No free. Boy, had a crack in. Was that Pettit? It was. Coming in a little late there. Cochin now the sock of the entry already. Rewalt peeling off the handball out wide to Pettit. Couldn't control it. Jack has another go. Where's the help? Thomas went and got it.
It was Thomas that tackled Mark Murphy there at the centre bounce. I'm just wondering if he may have been given the job to go to Murphy now. Ellis is still on Gibbs.
Crowd still filing in here at the G. There is Thomas, ready to wrap the arms around Conker the moment he took possession. Out the back, Murphy, steady as she goes. There's the run of Thomas the boys spoke of. Now Tui sees something in front. That kick was too far in front of Allard. Chaplin now, pursued by Allard. Did well, Chaplin, to turn it round to Martin. Martin back in, risky kick. Hampson, Cochin, Conker through the middle. Wanted the running ball, did the fast Deledio. Now Thomas, true centre half forward. Cochin around the back, sees something really wide. A stretching Deledio. King just brushes them off. Almost caught with the footy there. Now Pettit.
Go in the inside, mate. Sorry, mate.
Might have been Pettit in that contest, not Deledio.
Yeah, it was Ricky Pettard on the lead.
Griffiths doing the ruck work with Warnock. Newman again to Ellis. Ellis right into the intersection of the 50 in the boundary line. And this would be an incredible goal. Right on the angle. Brandon Ellis.
He has kicked 2 absolute corkers, Brandon Ellis. Similar sort of goals around the body from 50. Great penetration in his kick, and concern for young Dylan Buckley. Playing only his second game of AFL footy. He's hobbling off at the moment. But this takes great skill. To sum it up, no mistake, he has absolutely had a ping. Couldn't hit it any better, Richard.
Yeah, and he did look at the top of the square, didn't he? He looked inboard, and here's the injury on Buckley, and you can see Ben Griffiths there has trodden on his ankle, and gee, that would have hurt, and he was in a little bit of trouble there, Dylan Buckley, as he came from the ground. But a good start to the quarter for Brandon Ellis, who has the job on Bryce Gibbs and now has kicked 2 goals running off Gibbs.
Right in the pocket of that 50-metre line and the boundary line. Brandon Ellis. Well, as Dars pointed out, the coach publicly got hold of him a little during the week, and he's responded here tonight. So far, Simpson to Morris. McLean threw the ball out wide. An opportunity for Edwards through the middle. He looks downfield, sees a very clean and clear Richmond forward end, and Griffiths takes the mark directly in front.
Watch this man kick the footy, Ben Griffiths. We won't build him up too much because it'll go out of bounds on the full. But in terms of distance, Richo, as a drop punt, he is capable of kicking the footy a long, long way, this man.
Well, no one can kick the ball any longer, but that's the tricky distance, this one. 45, you might poke at it a bit.
The angle shouldn't be all that tricky, though. Richmond, the first of the second quarter. And the second.
Well, this is in dangerous territory already. 35 points, and the ease of which the Tigers are scoring will be a massive concern for Mick Moldhouse and his coaching team. And their defence got routed last week by Port Adelaide as well, so they're just leaking goals far too easily.
He's pretty excited, Griffiths, and why not? Good goal, 35-point lead, the biggest margin of the game. Lingy, if you're the Blues, do you need to do anything right now?
Well, I hate to be repeating myself here, BT, but it starts in the middle. They've got to get their hands on the footy. Bell, good attack on the ball. They either got to win it or they've got to stop it. Richmond have got it on their own terms too easily at the moment.
Well, maybe you could come up with the best three likely to win it out of there for them.
Let it go.
Well, Brock McLean, the man who's got this free kick's a good start. Mark Murphy's obviously been terrific. A couple of those hard nuts, get them in around the ball.
Everett goes long and deep. Wait the target here. Got his body in a really good position. Garlick dangerous as ever. Chaplin, did Garlick get a boot? No.
Well, they did do something at that centre bounce, the Blues. They had a loose player behind the footy, but that meant Chaplin was free down the other end, and he used that to good effect. Just got a boot on it there.
Now, thanks.
Basher took Garlick on, and a little bit of a party trick there. Griffiths punched away. Jamison recovers first. Good effort by Griffiths to then apply some pressure. So both teams having a dip here at the moment. Kick is wide. Allard. Well done, Martin.
Well, I think Moldhouse would be sending some pretty firm messages to Bryce Gibbs. Only 2 possessions. Brock McLean just the 3 handballs. Dale Thomas has only touched it 4 times. They're the ones. They're the ones that have to get more of the footy, win their fair share of it around the contest. It's not happening at the moment.
Grigg now searching for just a little bit of time for the Tiger defence. Grimes with a fist there on Simpson. Done well, Grimes. Well done, Dylan Grimes.
Because the other numbers are pretty stark. Delidio's had 11 and been outstanding. Cochin's had it 9 times. Dustin Martin's had it 7 times. Nick Floston's had a lot of the footy as well. So they are right on top at the moment. Cochin's pushed forward there, Richo into the goal square.
Yeah, something we'll see in football a lot more this year. Your gun on ball are going to full forward to rest with the interchange cap.
Gee, Delidio won a really good footy then. Thomas got the result and advancement of the footy. Jamison with the fly, about 4 deep. Murphy, clever little trap. Difficult ball to get hold of it was. Allard just not quite swift enough. Delidio had him locked in. Martin just trying to bully his way out of there. Now Ellis caught in the Curnow swinging tackle. Hampson went, so did Thomas. Robinson, Curnow now. Down the line with a slider, but I think might be out of bounds on the fall. It is.
BT, some good news for Carlton fans. Dylan Buckley, you can see him on the screen there waving to get on. His left ankle probably has been definitely strapped up again. He's got a lot of strapping. He's keen to get back out there.
Brandon Ellis caught on his non-preferred left side, but he made a pretty good effort to get it in the Griffiths path. Jamison's got to go. Edwards a little tapper. Cochin and Edwards combining again. Soccer off the ground. Flying shot misses.
I've seen Robbie Warnock do some really good things with his hands at ground level at crucial times tonight for a massive unit. He's got down really nicely.
Allard. Robinson. The give to Bell. Quick transfer of play. This next kick really important. McLean needed to get that to the ground. Flostone said no way.
This is an outstanding play, Nick Flostone. So much composure for a young man. Is that where we kept saying a lot of tonight? Looks so accomplished at a young age.
No one comes up at Grigg. Eventually Vickery does, and now he turns his tail and goes backwards. Look at this. Grigg's come to a standstill. No one going at him. Murphy just checks over the shoulder and he just presents it to Cochin. Wields around. Flostone the intended target here. Really crowded Richmond forward end. Rewald's got to jump over the whole lot of them. He does. Both hands on the footy. Grigg comes at it. Tigers Edwards. Soccer! Stumped the bottom of the post.
You just saw Sean Grigg have enough time to just stand there, hold the footy for 4 or 5 seconds. It's not something you see against good sides. You never ever see a Geelong or a Fremantle allow someone that amount of time, do you?
No, not that sort of time at all. You're right, Darcy. Here they turn the ball over again. The kicking efficiency difference has been huge.
Okay, hang on,
Reporting Dustin Martin, number 4. No, they'll both, Jack, go away. There's a report. Dustin Martin, number 4, 43, Simon White, please.
Okay, so we think that's on Dustin Martin as the resultant Carlton free kick. Now Simpson keeps it clean. That's a good effort from where he was. We're not sure what happened behind the play to cause that report, but
yeah, there was a bit of a fracas, obviously, and the umpire was right on it, and he's reported Martin, so he's seen something.
So a report, Lingy will be all over that for us. Find out what for. Buckley caught, gets the free. There goes Yarron. We know he's a great user. That didn't come off the boot the way he'd hoped. Asprey wins a free. It was close between taking his feet and getting the head-high tackle.
Just both teams just lost a little bit of composure here at the minute.
Well, the worst part is Jeffrey Garlett hasn't got up. He just slowly gets to his feet now. You can see the bottom left of your screen.
I thought he was stationary and the guys come right in.
Be interesting to have a look at that and just see whether he did take the legs of Garlett and whether that's why he's limping. Now, Tonka told to go, not the required journey here. You may hear the odd player, the umpire explaining to the player what's happened as well with the umpire mics, which I think is great. Short ball now, Pettit. Inside 50 just, wasn't his best. Menzel, Rowe and Simpson all combining for the Blues.
He's got away with one here, Carlton, on the rebound, and Simpson's got enough skill to get around Cochin, but how easily Richmond were able to walk through centre half forward without pressure would be really concerning. It's just a really unaccountable game at the moment. Players have got so much space.
Demanding the footy back was Murphy, went really wide to Bell. Now he's got Waite deep, McLean deep. Probably just a bit too far out for him.
He's been good pushing forward tonight, Bell. It's the 3rd time now he's marked it going forward.
That really needed to go to the top of the square. He made it too easy for the Tigers to rush that ball through, and no, they didn't get it done in the end. Thomas keeps it alive to McLean. Robinson, swift little handball. Wade around the corner, bending. Carlton get one in the second.
Well, the big story here, boys, is that Dustin Martin, great goal from Jared Waite, but Dustin Martin's been reported. Let's go back and take a look at what's happened. So off the ball, and was that just a little strike? Right hand to the face, and a bit of jumper punching maybe. Didn't seem to be a heap in it. Simon White.
I think it was for the first one that Martin threw. Looked almost like an open hand from that replay, but
there's the Waite goal.
That's the goal from Wade at the other end,
which is Richmond be disappointed with. But here's the free here. You see Martin comes through. Gee, from that vision, it's hard to really tell whether it made contact.
Didn't look a lot in it, to be honest with you.
Beautiful tap out the back from Hanson. What about that for a clearance? Thomas to Pettit. He goes immediately long and high. In there is Griffith. Brought it to the ground, did well. King was there. At the back door. Quickly Gibbs, but look at the pressure it put on it. Spills to Grigg. Grigg ducks, goes under the tackle. Now Jakey King comes at it. Bell, Tui, Thomas and Bell all combine. Curnow, half back, went on his non-preferred side to Robinson. He can go to the one-on-one contest. Good body position by Garlett, but he gave it up in the end to Newman.
Just some interesting stats here, Darcy. Richmond are out to a 30-point lead now. Now, last year in round 1, they got out to a 42-point lead and just hung on to win that game. In round 21, they got out to 30 and lost that game. And in the final, they got out to 32 and lost that one. So It's at that vital stage at the moment, this game. The Blues need to hang in there.
That'll be a reversal against Griffiths.
On the full now, Jake, thanks.
You saw the little backhand elbow to Thomas, got him in the thigh.
It's going to take Dale Thomas, BT, a fair bit of time, I think, to really find his feet. He played 5 games last year, so he hasn't really got that enormous run that made him a star of the game in his legs, but really admiring how hard he's going at the moment. He's willing himself to find more of the footy at the moment.
So he's finding his own game and trying to find Carlton's game as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to take him some time.
You'd think by mid-year you'd expect Dale to be up and going. Give him
injury-free.
8 or 9 games, no injuries. He's had that ankle concern. Get some confidence back. Get to know his teammates.
Edwards, Richmond through Martin again. Beautiful little kick by Martin back in here to Brandon Ellis. We know he's a good user by foot, Brandon Ellis.
Well, he needs his forwards to present up.
Vickery could have gone. He had the one-on-one everywhere. Rewalt over the top. You get the feeling Vickery and Rewalt trying to put a bit of space between each other there.
The biggest alarm bell at the moment that'd be ringing in Mick Malthouse's coach's box would be they're allowing Richmond to kick at 77%. Now, I can assure you that is extremely high for kicking efficiency. They're just doing it too easily down the ground, having too much time. Carlton has got to start putting pressure on somehow.
So here they go again. Exactly what Lingy's just talking about. Brandon Ellis over the top. Grigg, who is a left footer. Chiseling ball to the real dangerous spot. Vickery. Great punch away from Henderson. And Edwards didn't quite get all of it. What's a normal game go at, Lingy? A normal winning side would hit what during a game?
Most coaches would be happy to go at about that 65% mark. 70% would be a really good game and a really high-quality kicking game. 77's huge.
Richmond. Straight away. Play on.
Gives it off. Head out again, top of the square. They keep presenting opportunities. Rewalt from the side.
Well, that is something that everyone loves to see. It's what has enabled him to be a 2-time Coleman medal winner. He's a great pack mark. He's got great ability to read the footy, and he's dangerous close to goal. It's great to see him doing exactly what he does best, Richo.
Well, if you're playing on Jack, you need to check his run. If you allow him 3 or 4 steps into a contest, he'll be able to jump over the top of you every time.
For a game-high margin of 37 points, Rewalt converts.
Yeah, great mark, and he's pretty happy with it, so he should be. But if he's allowed to jump at the football, Jack Rewalt, he will mark the football. You must check him, or at least have some body contact on him before he attempts to fly for the football. Not enough on that occasion, a great contested mark.
Three goal to 1 quarter in favour of the Tigers. 37 points their lead at the moment, but Carlton fans, perhaps even Carlton players, will be sitting there thinking, we've done it before, particularly against the Tigers. They're going to have to do it again. Warnock advanced the footy. Tigers 2-on-1. Chaplin got caught. Umpire says no free. Fair enough. Did well, Chaplin. Hasn't he been a great acquisition for the Tigers? That cool, tall in defence.
But there's a number back. Carlton played the extra number back of that centre bounce. They probably had to with the lead getting out to 37 points. That means that Richmond have a loose at the other end now as well.
Not a blade of grass. Just perfection here at the G. This ground has been prepared beautifully. Conker. First game of footy on it for the year. Jakey King through a bit of traffic. Perno, really good handball to Thomas, who will get it free. Surely that was too high. Surely it had to be too high. Really got to earn your kicks these days.
This is where they have been sliced apart, Carlton, and their ability to transition runners. Ellis kicks that one about 60 metres to centre forward.
Robinson read it nicely. Everett goes to a 1-on-1. Conker had good body position on Murphy, did well. Menzel around the corner to open up. Now Morris is under Garlett pressure. He wouldn't want to fumble here. Did really well, Morris. Cool, poised footy. Conker just in the nick of time to Martin. Do they go or do they stay? Martin says, I'll give me former skipper an opportunity. Newman says, come at me. I can't kick that far. And I haven't got the pace to run around them.
And that's a mini win for Carlton because we haven't seen it enough. I mean, Lingy gave the kicking stat, which is on world record pace, because they've just been able to waltz through half forward, have time, hit their targets easily. For the first time, those last two forward movements for Richmond have been under a bit of pressure. That's the basics that Carlton have to get right to get back into this.
Oh, good decision there made by Mitch Robinson. Sees Buckley. Buckley to Simpson, wrong-footed a little on his left, but he still did really well under the pressure. And White's taken the mark. A little bit of space just in where he's going now if someone comes at him. Kick needed to be in front, though, not on top of his head.
Yeah, you called it well, BT. There was definite space there for a forward to lead into, but just had a little bit too much on the kick. And Mick barking some instructions down the line there. Desperate for a goal here from this stoppage, the Blues.
They bang the two ruckmen. Conker. Martin with half a fresh airy. Now McLean. Robinson quick. Murphy from the boundary line. Needs to centre it to the top. He did that beautifully. Rowe down to Yaron. How easy is that? The Blues get their second of the quarter.
Oh, great crumbing goal from Chris Yaron. What a talented player. Hit that at full pace. But give some credit to Mark Murphy there. It was just a dangerous kick to the top of the goal square. Defender's nightmare. It was spoilt down. And Yaron was in the right place. Great finish.
He's playing his heart out, Mark Murphy, to keep his team in it. And what I love about him is he always does the right thing by the team. It was a really clever centering kick, as you pointed out. And that is a good way to score and get some momentum back. Kick to the top of the square, front and centre. Desperately need a goal.
Beautiful knock from Warnock. Back to Bell. Cochin able to get his hands on it. Got to get between them here, Rewalt, and he does. Jamison trailing in, got the benefit of the bounce. Boy, did he handball it. Deledio throws himself on the footy, waits for the troops to arrive, and
The ball.
yes, he will be pinned.
Free kick. Dot dragged it in.
Dragged it in, said umpire Matthew Leppard. Umpires
Jack,
tonight,
stay out.
Leppard, Stewart and Stevic.
A really good matchup for win for Carlton this quarter has been Andreas Everett. He's kept
Mark, wait
Brett
there, make
Deledio
sure.
to just the two handballs. Obviously really dominant in the first quarter as they turn the ball over again. But Everett has done a terrific job on Deledio.
And so do the Tigers.
It's an unusual matchup for him. Leo picked that up. I don't think I've ever seen him or even thought he was capable of doing a run with roll with a player like Deledio.
Obviously something Mick's trying to add to his game because he is a very good runner. If you can use that to his strength of being able to run with a player like Deledio, you can obviously stick with him, but you're right, certainly hasn't played too many run with rolls in his career.
Just like Chris Yaron, who kicked that goal, is now playing forward, and there he is. He's on his own there in that forward pocket. Basher Hula going to him now. I like that move because he's just dangerous. The ball hits the ground inside that forward 50.
Got to really earn a free in here. Edwards. Delayed handball to Cochin was excellent. Vickery presents up.
Bryce Gibbs is now playing on Ty Vickery.
Gee, that's a good kick. Oh. Teammates collide. Grigg and Griffiths. I could see it coming a mile off in the meantime. Petted around the corner to Rewalt. Tries to protect the drop of the ball spot, Jack, but Grigg has come off second best in that contest with his teammate.
Big Hampso's not doing Ruckman a great favour here, Richo, by cleaning up his teammate. That
He had to call.
you've got to call him back there, Big Sean.
Still in the hands of the trainer is Grigg. He'll come for a spell. Conker did well in defensive ball. Here he is. He's recovered. He's said to the pink vest, get out of the way. The ball's coming. Basher around the corner to Vickery. And he was always going to beat Buckley in the air.
Can't get away from it. Sean Grigg picks up a touch when he's got no idea what he's doing, and I think he'll be all right, but just needs to come from the ground. But when you're leading out like that and there's someone coming back with a flight, Grigg has no idea what's coming. It's the responsibility of Hampson to just hold up and let him mark the ball.
Vickery for his second goal. Beautiful conditions tonight. Flags are limp. And really, it's all about your preparation, and this time it's good. Vickery gets his second. Richmond back out by 37.
Nice finish from Ty Vickery, but you'd be happy if Basher Hawley is the man kicking it inside 50 every time, because a beautiful left foot kick, and it was a precise hit up to Tyrone Vickery. Having a solid night. Kicked the 2 goals now. 4 marks inside 50.
I think it's been a really good response from that man on screen there, Ty Vickery, who's been criticised a lot after his first performance in round 1. An article in the paper today suggesting that it's time for him to stand up. He attacked the ball really hard with his first contest. He's kicked a couple of goals, and it's been a good effort from a man who came under a bit of pressure this week.
Right there, Chris. Thank you. Right on.
Yes, it has, and Cochin just got out of a little trap then.
It's been a long time between the first game and the second game, so he's had a lot of time to think about it, and a lot of comment across all of the football media on how Ty played in round 1.
Well, Richmond in really perfect conditions up there, kicked 10-9 for the whole game, Richo. They've already kicked 10-6 here in basically the first half.
Yeah, their efficiency going inside 50 was ordinary.
It's a great chase from Jared White.
Yaron again to pick up the pieces. Yaron gets his second.
Well, he'd be filthy with that, Damien Hardwick. Just some sloppy stuff from the captain, Trent Cotchin. They really set Dustin Martin up. Great forward pressure from the Blues. And Chris Sharon, since he's gone forward, that's 2 goals now, and he's just so dangerous at ground level. It's been a good move by Mick.
Carlton have had a great ability to come from behind and put pressure on Richmond. That chase from Jared Waite, that sometimes changes the whole game. When a big forward puts in an effort like that, turns over and kicks a goal at a crucial stage, that may well be a massive moment in this game.
Great slow-mo shot of how he picked that difficult ball up then too, Yaron. High ball inside the Blues 50 again. Another goal here would make it interesting. Little handball out to the dangerous Yaron again. Peeling for frees, left, right and centre here. Umpire says get on with it. Delidio got bowled over. Didn't like the attention from White.
No free kicks. Let him up, Brett.
Chris Sharon forward, and he just looks dangerous. And every time the ball hits the ground at the moment inside the Blues forward 50, they look like scoring.
So a Shepherd against Griffith here. Right in front.
You blocked his run. You got 1 metre.
I'm not sure he could do anything else because the ball come over his head.
Well, he didn't look at the football, though.
Fair enough.
I think if you've got to at least, no, that's a free kick. You've got to keep your eyes on the ball.
Yep, fair call, wasn't it? Big kick for the Blues here. My goodness, did you see that? Wow-wee! Goodness gracious me! That nearly missed the boat.
That's hard to do, Brian. It's really hard to do.
Not a good night for the Ruckman tonight, I'll have to be honest with you. That
Go into bat for them, Dars.
Come off that bone on the outside of your ankle, called your ankle bone.
he is shitting that.
I'm laughing at you, BT, not the shot at goal.
That is extraordinary.
Funny call there, Brian.
Oh, God.
Murphy.
Leave it.
It's a big 75 seconds for the Tigers. The Blues are really pressing here. It's been a good little fight back late in this quarter.
Oh, that's a brilliant kick from Mark Murphy to Rowe, and Rowe doesn't let him down. He wants to go. He's not confident. He pops it into the pocket, trying to draw weight at the footy, and Morris arrives. Boy, if that kick was any wider of the goal, I reckon Lingy might have been able to mark it.
Just an extraordinary ball drop.
Allard. Edwards spinning out of the pack. Ellis has got to be clean here. He wasn't. Curnow was, but Gibbs had trouble, and Jack Rewalt take a bow. You won a really important hard footy then. Edwards streams through the middle. It's 1-on-1. It's the ball, and it's Tui. Who wins? Ellis. Martin now. Got it all to do. Look at the way he keeps his feet. Dustin Martin. Jack Rewalt again. He started all of this at the half-back line. And now Dylan Buckley to relieve pressure.
Half-time in the elimination final. Richmond led by 26 points, so don't worry about this game still being alive. There's plenty left in it. They really need to find something, Carlton. And that won't help. Tell you who's having a forgettable night. He's Bryce Gibbs, which he's been tagged. They've put a lot of work into him. Brandon Ellis is doing the job. He's kicked a couple of goals on Bryce Gibbs, and Bryce Gibbs has only touched it 3 times in his first half.
Well, there it is. The Richmond fans would be ecstatic the way this game is going for them. They've been able to hold off the Blues and maintain that margin of just over 30 points. 31 points here at halftime. Richmond 10-6, 66, as Jakey just gives a little soft breadbasket to Mark Murphy, and he walks in the opposite direction. The Blues 5-5, 35.
Grimes and Yaron, I think that's going to be a really crucial matchup in this third quarter. Yaron kicked 2 goals in the second, and he looks really dangerous at ground level.
Okay, can the Tigers maintain? Can the Blues come back? We're about to find out. Second half of Thursday night football. Big crowd in tonight here at the MCG. A perfect autumn night. Simpson and Edwards. Been really good, Edwards, in this game tonight. Looking for the little touch deft kick around the corner to Alice. And now Gibbs, who needs to lift. Murphy has done very well. Down the line looking for Robinson. Had to wait for the bounce in the end. Garlett spun out of the Morris tackle, and that kick under pressure from Jeffrey Garlett is just brilliant. White now. Here is Henderson. The boys just talked about him moving forward. He believes he's marked it. The umpire said, no, you haven't. Garlett from the standing start sees something out of the corner of his eye. It didn't go where he intended, but Everett has marked the footy. It was going in the Dale Thomas direction.
Yeah, it was, but Cameron Ling pointed out this matchup, and Andreas Everett, the tagging job on Brett Delidio, and he worked really hard the other way, pushed hard on Delidio, made him work as a defender. Delidio was caught napping, and it's a good play from Everett, who did a good job on Delidio in the second quarter.
They're big. They're all big attempts for the Blues, but they must start kicking straight. Everett, the man to get them going here in the third quarter, and he's got it.
Yeah, great start by the Blues, and importantly, all of their good players had touches in that chain of possessions that started in the back half. Wade, Gibbs, Murphy, Garlett got involved, and then went down forward, and a good contest from Henderson, and Everett finishes with the goal. So couldn't have asked for a better start here, Carlton.
Brendan Favola, former Carlton great there with one of his daughters. Bill Lane, one of the big head honchos at Etihad Stadium in front, of course.
Big Carlton fan as well.
Now to the middle of the Tigers, so the Blues have finally made some inroads below 30. They're at 25 points adrift. Yaron, dangerous player that Richo's keeping a real close eye on. Here's Thomas, took him on, and he's been caught by Warnock. Immediately to the left foot of Simpson. Good thinking. And here's the driller. Wasn't that good? Where were the dukes from Henderson? He went the breadbasket. No good. Grigg. Meat in the sandwich. Lots of Blues around the footy here. Henderson without great composure. And eventually Ellis with a nice kick to Martin. Here comes Vickery on the lead, doubles back, goes for the old double lead. And Rowe swallowed it, but he made up ground on the lead eventually. Grigg from the standing start. Griffiths behind. Got under the footy a little bit too much. Here's Rewalt, gathers. Long handball out to King. King tries to get around Robertson. He brushes him off. And then a little sneaky goal from a little sneaky man, Jakey King. And then a little bit of fisticuffs as well.
Free kick. Let him go now. Michael, let him go now.
Jakey King.
Walk away.
Well, unbelievably, Jake's kicked the goal beat, and just wandered off. I thought he'd like to get involved in that, but what a great goal from Jake. Shrugged off the tackle. Oh, he had to get involved. That's how it started.
I didn't get you in the mouth, Wadey.
He's
He got you in the right nipple.
He started it and then just wandered off, Jake.
How did that hit him in the mouth?
Jared Wade's on the old soccer free kick there. There was a little boot to the chest, and Wadey's tried to suck a free kick in there.
Just, boy, oh boy. There's the Tigers out of the middle, Conker. Newman with a quick little sneaky one through the middle. Everett. Allard. So there's support for the Blues at the moment. Murphy the run wide here. Look at Buckley, just gloved the ball one hand. Took him on. Gee, Carlton fans will love to see that. So will his coaches. Yaron, very deliberate looking for Jeffrey Garlett. Couldn't find him. Chaplin didn't have it.
This is the key now for Carlton. They've got to make sure they trap the ball inside their forward half. As we look at Jakey King again, nowhere near Wadey as you boys mentioned.
Come on, Wadey.
Carlton have got to lock this ball in their forward half now.
Boy, Griffiths, good grab, and well, it's common sense umpiring. I like it. Would have been 50 probably under the old regime because technically it was there, but common sense it wasn't.
Well, Carlton have got involved with a bit of outside ball early this quarter, and they look a lot more dangerous already. Simpson getting a lot of it.
Asprey, no one going at him, so he just hoiks the ball high on the head of Vickery, and Rowe was able to ease him under it. Did well, Rowe. Simpson, Murphy beaten absolutely everything tonight as Murphy. Little ball, so Carlton building here. Curno's free over the top. He goes in that direction. White on the lead. Here comes Yaron up the middle, and there it is, but Jakey King's got in the way. The counter-attack's on here for the Tigers. Do they keep going or do they hold? Pettard to Hooley. Hooley, we know, is one of their gun foot users.
Well, he's got Griffiths down the line, has to present at him. He's wanting it over the top.
And that's exactly where it goes, Richo. Gee, Waite went early. I thought he almost gave away the free. Didn't think he was really going at the footy. Jack Rewalt with a tackle.
I think you're obviously close to the action. We are. We've had 19 goals kicked already in this game. It feels like a real shootout at the moment. There's space at either end of the ground and lots of time when you get the footy on the turnover.
Yeah, absolutely, Das. And those kicks like Ed Curnow, where it's shallow to centre half forward, very dangerous because Richmond are brilliant on the counter-attack.
There's Martin with a little dribbler. Gee, Waite did well. He knew it was heading goal-bound. They are so good at getting that to go where they want it along the ground. And he had it on line. So no inroads made in the 7 minutes we've played so far for the Blues. Allard do well to go at two hands there. Greg DeHooley. It's going to hurt now. Here's Vickery. Oh, Rowe, well done. Arrived a little late and did it really well. Hampson in the middle of the Tigers. Cochin just lost it in the lights there for a moment. Thomas will make him earn it. Gee, I thought he should have got the free, Dale Thomas. But it doesn't matter, he's got the footy. Here's Menzel. Henderson doubles back. That's great vision to Yaron. Richo said you've got to watch this man. He's the danger, and here he is.
He is, and look how far goal side he had on his opponent then. He's a talented player. He reads it so well.
Yeah, great effort from Dale Thomas here, Richo. He stood up, he dispossessed Trent Cotchin. Teammates have come from everywhere to get across to Daisy. Big play from him.
So Yaron taking every bit of his 30, looking for his third goal. Directly in front city end. Yaron, beautifully balanced and poised, kicks the goal. The Blues are back into the 20s again at 26.
Well, there'll be Richmond fans who'll be very nervous. They have seen a lot of this in recent games where they get out to what looks like winnable game margins, to have them reduced, and a bit of momentum about Carlton just at the moment. Feel like they have an opportunity here to really get back in this one.
Just see Cotchin losing the footy in the light here. He just put the hands up to try and reflect a bit of the light.
But it was great by Dale Thomas not to let him get around him then, as Das just pointed out.
It was this point in the elimination final, about this time of the third quarter, that Carlton started to make inroads on Richmond. And that is a big-time tackle by Vickery. And just a little bit of a yap in the ear from Ty as well, to say, I got you.
Walk away, Jack. Mark's here.
Just as the Blues were starting to make ground, brilliant tackle.
There's been some big cough-up turnover goals here tonight from both teams. And terrific forward pressure from a 200-centimetre player in Ty Vickery. Big kick now.
Just can't get a run at the Blues. Tigers have been able to respond to all that Carlton have dished and keep it at around about 30 points. 26-point differential at the moment. There's the job ahead. It's on line. It's all about the distance, and that's no worries at all. So 32-point lead, Richmond.
Well, if he kicks his 3 goals a game, that's job done for me for Ty Vickery. But more than that, I love the fact that he has attacked the ball a lot harder than he did in round 1. Lane tackles, chase downs from behind, big commitment, and then a bit of reward for effort. Well done.
Well, Richmond have responded to all that Carlton have thrown at them. When do Carlton become a little jaded by that, do you think?
I think if they're still within this range at three-quarter time because of recent history, I think they'll still have a belief they can win the game, BT.
Okay.
They must have.
Pettard, well, giving chase.
Push in the back.
This is the crucial range, though. It's 5 goals. If it got out to 6 or 7 goals by three-quarter time, it would be too much, you would think.
Good leap by Griffiths. Good hang. Really nice mark. Real workman like this guy.
He's got something that I really like about him, BT. Might be a real find for Richmond if he can stay fit.
Everett. Handball back inside. Should have turned boundary side then. Ellis touch, said the umpire, so it won't be a goal.
He dropped a mark, Ben Griffiths, that he really should have taken Richo in the second quarter. It was one of those ones where you just thought his confidence there, but his response since has been great. He's clucked a couple of big ones. He can play in the ruck. He can play forward. Starting to really improve.
Gee, that's a good kick from Jamison.
It's a good kick from Jamison, but it's tremendous by Henderson. He worked, 100 metres to give that outlet kick.
Well done, Jared Waite.
And now they get a chance to go inside 50 on the back of Henderson's work rate at centre-half forward. That's Nick Riewoldt stuff from Henderson there.
And a good build-up from the Blues.
Didn't play a lot in the pre-season, Henderson, as well, Richo. He had limited preparation, so you think he's just going to get better and better.
Yaron says, come at me, guys. He said, you can see what he's thinking. He said, I'm a really good kick. Come at me. I can get you the footy. Bell to Gibbs, back to Bell. He launches from 52 out. It was a little bit of a scruffy one. He didn't get it cleanly.
Bit of class here from Jared Waite, wasn't it? The ball handling skills and the composure was elite stuff there.
Where's Yaron, boys, around this stoppage?
Lurking, I would say.
There he is out here.
Okay, so he's found some pace, Richo, and some space. Yaron looking to spot up there. Bell over the back. It comes to Waite. He missed it. Doesn't matter. I think that was Garland around the corner with a magnificent kick at goal. Carlton back again.
Well, Garland and Yaron involved, and if Carlton are to win this game, I think it'll be on the back of those two. I don't think they've got a winner in the air up forward, but they're looking dangerous at ground level, and Yaron involved again, gets it to a contest, and Jeffy mops up and kicks the goal.
Huge degree of difficulty in this kick from Jeff Garlett to pick it up and under that sort of pressure and get the bend and the range from there. Look at that, around the body. Geez, he hit it perfectly, and the curve around the body was something pretty special.
So 27-point lead here at the moment. The Blues trimming it back, and Richmond have normally responded in this situation. But here comes McLean. Can he find someone? Wait. Thought about Mensley, said no, I'll centre it. Opportunity for Thomas, he ran straight at it. The ball beat him in the end. And now Cotchin to Thomas. Get out of the way. Boy, he was lucky he didn't get pinged by Thomas there. They let that one slip. Jakey King. Ellis demanding the footy, saying, I'm really good at this, give it to me. He does, around 1-2. And not so good from Ellis, but somehow in front, Rewalt almost took it. Not the first, not the second, but the third time.
I think they've got their best lineup at the moment, Carlton. They've got, if you look at Rewalt's effort, great ability to find the front position from nowhere, but Sam Rowe's playing on Vickery, Jamison's back, and they've gone with Waite and Henderson forward. It's as good as they've looked up the middle of the ground, Carlton, for me.
Big moment in the game here. If Carlton can get the next one, they're under real Richmond pressure here, though. Bashahuli, Morris, no contact made, no free. Martin with a dagger couldn't get it in.
One area I reckon Carlton look more dangerous at the moment is at ground level in the forward 50 with Yaron and Garlett. If they can hang in there, those guys could be match winners.
Thomas really coming into the game now for the Blues. That's intelligent play by Yaron. He knew he couldn't take possession of the footy. There is Thomas. Robinson looking for the give and go. It went the other way to Bell. Bell just sends it forward bound. Waite's got it all to do against the couple, and he was interfered with. So Waite's got the free, 70 out. Look at this in the middle. I think it's Andreas Everett. Carlton a chance to get it back to 22. Are Richmond just starting to feel
He's on the mark.
the Blues, knowing that it's happened many times before?
Would have to be. Would have to be, because Carlton look to be covering the ground, running forward a little bit better than Richmond at the moment.
For his second goal of the quarter, Andreas Everett. It's a goal. The Blues are back to within 22.
Terrific from Andreas Everett. Pushed forward down the corridor and, importantly, finished off with a nice shot on goal. He's having a good quarter as well.
Lee, you picked this match up really early. Andreas Everett tagging Brett Delidio everywhere he goes. He's kept into 5 possessions since quarter time and kicked 2 goals on him.
Yeah, absolutely, Das. Doing a terrific job. Delidio on fire in that first quarter. Huge role for the Blues. Everett not just stopping him, but as you mentioned, pushing forward, getting dangerous and kicking those 2 goals.
Blues have kicked 4 of the last 6 goals in this one. Through some traffic here. There is Delidio. Got met solidly. Vickery couldn't make contact. Brandon Ellis didn't get boot the ball. Was he carried forward? No.
It's a behind. It's a behind. Come on. Just wait.
Well, great pressure from the Blues there.
Play on.
Dylan Buckley, the youngster, throwing the big fella Ty Vickery. Thomas, as I said, really starting to come into his own here. And here's Waite. Out of bounds will do the Blues here.
By the way he plays, Dylan Buckley, Bristol, he's got a great turn of speed. It's only his second game of AFL football, but really takes it on. He's got a bit of go about him. I think he's a good inclusion.
Yeah, he has. There's a twinkle in the eye there for sure. Yaron from the stoppage. Waite did well. No mark will be paid here. Play on. You heard the umpires. Allard to Murphy. Murphy trying to keep it alive here. I tell you what, Richmond are now under enormous pressure. Conker's kick a little wide, and Carlton lock it at their forward end.
And they were smashing Carlton with uncontested football at half-time in this game, and we highlighted it. And Carlton have risen. They've got a real belief after half-time here. 41-25 uncontested. Richmond can't find it on the outside and maintain possession.
Cochin into the middle, but Buckley's there, pushed out of the way by King. Here's Grigg. The Tigers go now. It's one-on-ones everywhere. Kick into Vickery. Boundary line, good result for the Tigers.
Could get something at ground level here, Richmond. Some repeat clearances, repeat throw-ups. Lock it in.
7 minutes remaining in the quarter. Murphy pursued by King. Fast little handball to Simpson. Kept it in front, Bell, and did good result for Carlton there. A lot of that sort of niggle in the game.
1 metre rucks.
Fans enjoying a ripping out. Good number of them in. Perhaps a little disappointing in the overall context of these games. These games between these two teams at this time of the year have averaged 75,000. Not sure we'll get there tonight. Just under. Griffiths. Ellis.
Huge role by Brandon Ellis tonight. He's kept Bryce Gibbs, his match-up for the night, to just the 5 possessions. He's had 13 himself. He's kicked 2 goals, but he's also had another 2 or 3 shots at goal. So, brilliant job by Brandon Ellis.
You'd be amazed if those headphones are still in working order at the end of the night. Mick Malthouse has.
Well, Lee, that's a role you did right throughout your career and did it better than just about anyone's ever done it. What would you not want now if you are Brandon Ellis? Where does he go and play? He's got to get in the game, Bryce Gibbs. He's not having any impact at all. In fact, his opponent is one of the best players on the ground. What does he do?
Well, first things first, Darcy, you've got to reverse the roles a little bit. Ellis has had the last 2 shots at goal. Start playing a bit of a defensive role for your team as well and work your way into the game that way. You can't just keep letting your opponent have shots at goal.
Waite did well with the tackle. They forced the turnover. G. Curnow needed to win that one, and he didn't. Cochin now. Spearing ball, the 1-2. Grigg and Cochin. Cochin tidies up his own work. Got it off to Jakey King. Can he keep his feet? He did it well to Griffith. An inside-out footy that won't get the journey. And just kept alive here by Waite.
It was a big 50-50 ball, and Stephen Morris just went a little bit harder and a little bit lower. Curnow committed his body as well, but Morris has won the battle there.
He did go hard, didn't he? Really tensed up for that battle. One-on-one battles everywhere at the moment on this ground. We love it. Fostone out the back door to Asprey. Standing start, high ball Asprey. Everett did well with the spoil. On Deledio.
He's all over Brett Deledio at the moment, Andreas Everett. A really disciplined effort that Lingy was all over. Picked it up pretty early.
Look at those headphones. They are on and off and throwing, and he has really given them a workout. I reckon in a couple of minutes he'll be heading down to the bench, if not very, very shortly. Mick Malthouse. Here's King. Good handball. The favoured leg of Hooley, who launches.
It's a real one-on-one game now all across the ground. There's no loose player anywhere.
Yaron can go. This is going to be a real speedster here. 1 bounce, 2. Yaron. Henderson says keep going. 3 bounces. Yaron to the top of the square. That is great poise. What composure from Chris Yaron to get it to the advantage of Waite.
He's the man. He is the match winner, Chris Yaron. He's got that much speed. If he gets a centimetre and he gets over the back like this, it's good night. But the poise here, he summed it up beautifully. That kick was to the advantage of weight perfectly. What a great kick that was.
And he had run that distance at that speed. He would have been tired, but he still had enough power in the leg to get it where he wanted it. Big time goal from Waite. 20 metres out. And sprayed it right.
Well, what about that? That is just going to be devastating for Carlton in their pursuit. They were back to 19 points if they kick that big sticks. Carlton legend, he can't believe it. His might have spun sideways, but they always went through the middle.
They did. He was good at butchering the spin, Das. But the result, as you say,
found a way to go straight. They didn't have big helicopters from sticks.
They'd go straight through the middle from the big stick. It's the run from defensive 50 to forward 50 at the moment from the Blues, which is the difference and is keeping them well and truly in the hunt at three-quarter time, and that's what they want. They want to be within 3 or 4 goals with a quarter to go.
4 minutes left in the third quarter. Thomas. Carlton be desperate for another score, and Richmond probably hanging on a little. Richie.
BT, you can see there on your screen, Jake King has just been subbed out of the game. Nathan Foley is into the action, but Jakey King's done for the night. And Carlton about to make a move with theirs. Kane Lucas taking off the green vest.
Hey, Lingy, what would you do with Yaron?
To try and stop him?
Yeah, do you swing someone onto him as a complete sort of shutdown role now?
I think somebody who's smart enough, you've got to stay defensive side. You mentioned it, Richo. As soon as you let him get over the back, you're in all sorts of trouble. So somebody who even plays off him a metre or two to not let him get attacking side of you.
They're desperately trying to get Chris Yaron back on the ground here at the moment, this final couple of minutes. And Mick Moldhouse insisting that he get back on as quickly as possible.
BT just quickly, Brock McLean subbed out of the game, Kane Lucas on.
Okay, nice work, Lingy. Both subs coming almost simultaneously there. Now Carlton have got a little bit of space out here. Some overlap from Curnow. Back inside they go. Thomas with a nifty little kick finds Henderson on the present up.
He's got to get it in quick. Waite's one-on-one.
He had the whole 50, but he didn't elect to go.
Well, Hampson's got back now, but
now he does. Waite comes at the footy. Got both Dukes out, did well. But in the end, Asprey, with not a great look down the field, finds only Robinson. They're pressing the Blues here. Gee, Cade Simpson a little disappointed he didn't get the ball sideways from Robinson. Here's Garland over the top, tries to bring it to the ground with a sweeping hand. Chaplin had to go, he did. Didn't get all of the footy. Pedard, the umpire said it's play on, no mark will count here. Off hands. Well done, Robinson. Lined up the footy not once but twice. Here's the sub Foley. Partial smother by Tui. Bell went and got it. The Blues pressuring big time here now. Murphy wants it. 3-on-1. Thomas, little one into Yaron. Sees Murphy, takes them on. Back to Yaron. Beautiful one-handed pick up from Yaron. The Blues just couldn't quite get it to work.
Yeah, great defence back there from the Tigers too. They laid 3 or 4 big tackles. Goal savers potentially with a couple of minutes remaining in the third quarter. It was a big defensive play back there.
Got to be careful here, Carlton, not to overcommit in their one for the goal, because their position now at 24 is still a good one at three-quarter time.
A goal either way is just massive in this game at the moment.
Bell, 2 minutes precisely left in the third quarter, and Richmond will have a free ball on half-back.
You could almost say a goal either way, and that'd be the favourites at three-quarter time.
Been over 10 minutes since the last goal. It's
Play on.
really gone up the pressure in this third quarter.
Foley the fresh.
That's where I reckon if you're Richmond, you've got to press, you've got to go 5 goals up. You don't want to hold on to a 4-goal lead.
Boy, Newman said, come at me, someone. Basher was hiding. With 1:38, Carlton are now poised. Perfectly.
BT, I spoke in that first half about Richmond's kicking efficiency being incredibly high at 77%, but you've seen just this last 5 or 10 minutes the complete opposite. Carlton have been able to turn the tables on the Tigers, and now it's Richmond who are coughing up the ball. their kicking efficiency's out the window.
Mick has just sent the Carlton runner into the forward line to let them know of the time. This is a touch ball here. Lucas, the sub, needs to keep his feet. He does. Has he got the strength to take it away? To Curnow. Long footy inside 50. Here they come, the Blues. Over the top with a big spoil. It was well done by the Tigers. I think it might have been Pettard. It was. 1 minute left. Carlton have got it where they want it. They trail by just 24.
Straight up, boys. Let him up now, thanks.
Inner suburban warfare at its best here.
You can see Steve Morris on Jeff Garlett. He'll be dangerous around this stoppage.
Yaharan got in amongst it. He had first touch on it. It spills. Cotchin was desperate, but that's a dangerous thing to do, and it's out of bounds on the full.
Oh, go ahead.
So Simpson's got it. Plays on, gets it to Yaron. Not the journey. Yaron's got to go. Turns around. Hoists the high ball. Top of the square. 3/4 of a minute remaining in the quarter. Off hands Menzel. And the old place kick. Comes to Jamison. Jamison can run it off. He's got the leg. Carlton will kick the goal. No, it hits the post.
Kicked it well too, Jamison. The full back. It looked like a almost certain goal. Just nicked the inside of the left-hand goal post.
That's the pressure on the Richmond defenders. They are really nervous. They don't want to pick the ball up. There's hacks off the ground. It's great pressure by the Blues.
Here they come again, the Blues. Back inside. Allard got clobbered in the tackle, but 13 seconds left. Richmond are the only ones that can score.
23 points is plenty of room to move to overturn this game, Carlton. But the weight in this goal and that one nicking the post, doesn't that hurt?
Holding Carlton. Carlton kick.
So a Carlton free here. 40 metres out. The siren will sound.
It's Brandon Ellis on Bryce Gibbs.
Getting blocked and held.
So Gibbs will have the free. Siren's got to go, but the runner has gone to him now. There he is, just off to the left.
Mark here.
And told him, do not play on.
Well, this is massive for Bryce Gibbs. He has been soundly beaten by the man on the mark there, Brandon Ellis, as the siren sounds. And you're always taught, if it's not your day, it might be your moment. And this is his moment. This is massive in the context of this game.
Huge kick, as the boys have pointed out. We're right there with him as he tries to get it to 17 points. And he's blasted it a long way from where it needed to be. That's a behind in the end, is it? No, it's not. No further score added. So Richmond by 23 points, boys.
Fascinating quarter. Carlton pressed for the whole quarter. Are they close enough, though, Dust? Their uncontested footy and their run looks a little bit better than Richmond's at 3/4 time. Mick will have to work some magic.
Yeah, don't go anywhere. It's game on. It's the Tigers by 23 points here at 3/4 time.
Yes, really animated, really emotional at 3/4 time, getting into his players. No doubt asking for more of in that what they did in that third quarter. Kept Richmond to 46% kicking efficiency. Their defence was fantastic. They've just got to take advantage of it now.
This is very nicely poised for a tight finish. Make no mistake, Richmond would know that they've folded under Carlton pressure in recent times. Yeah, 23 points is nothing, Richard.
I don't think Mick's going to allow a loose player all over the ground. Who's got more run? Carlton had it in the third quarter.
Both subs activated if you've just joined us. Murphy to Menzel. Menzel really wide to Henderson. Chaplin is there, so is Bell. Chaplin caught him in the tackle. Ball pinned.
There was no chance. High ball.
Brett Delilio was the best player on the ground in the first quarter. 10 disposals. Had kicked a big goal. Andreas Everett since then has done an outstanding job. Kicked 2 goals back on him and restricted him to 7 possessions. And Damien Harvick's decided he's going to leave Delilio down in the goal square.
Pettard.
Stay there. That's your mark. Right there. Right there, Jeff. Move it on. Play on.
Goes to the interchange side wing. Looking for Griffiths, who's been really impressive.
Well, that's a good sign for Ben Griffiths. That's a crucial contested mark, which gets possession for your team on the wing.
Nothing in the middle for Conker, so he's forced to go wide and down the line to Deledio, and that battle that Richo and Das have talked about tonight.
Well, Das talked about Bryce Gibbs. If it's not your game, it can be your moment. And Brett Deledio's gone forward. He may have a couple of moments in this last quarter where he can kick goals as a leader for his footy club.
Hanson, the former Blue, turned Tiger. What would he be thinking right now? Foley just inches it forward towards Rewalt, who's offered himself tonight. And a boundary throw in deep in the Tiger end.
Like Buckley's game tonight for the Blues. He's got plenty of pace and used it in the third quarter.
Gee, that's a shocking boundary throw in then.
Why wouldn't they recall that like they do a centre bounce?
That was a shocker. This man got going in the third quarter. Richo, didn't he? Thomas.
Yeah.
Mark.
Yeah, he did. He started to win some big one-on-ones, Daisy. Crucial tackle. Here's Yaron again. They're going to have to man this man up. He's the match winner.
7 touches, 100% efficiency, Thomas, in that third. Here's Yaron, as Richo said. What about that? To Carlton, that was pinpointed.
Well, if you're going to let Chris Yaron wander into the centre of the ground, take a mark and then have an eternity to deliver it inside 50, you're going to pay for it. And we've said it all quarter. In the third, he is the man that will win the game for Carlton if he's allowed space like that.
Game 100 for Jeffy. Punt road end directly in front. And he has missed. Boy, they've missed some easy straight in front of us tonight. I reckon 5 they've missed.
5 ones that you would mark down as dead certainties, and that will be costly, you would think, at some point in time. He's coached well, Mick Moldhouse, in terms of throwing his team around. Richo Yaron starting defence. He's happy to move him forward. He's moved Henderson and Waite forward. He's put Rowe back.
Got every ounce out of it, hasn't he?
Yeah, I reckon he has.
Richo, you mentioned Dylan Buckley's game before. He's been terrific tonight, but he's on the bench again getting another massage. He's been off a few times in that third quarter, getting work for cramp. So we asked the question, who's going to run out the game better? Dylan Buckley really struggling with cramp. He's only his second game of AFL footy, the lift in intensity. He's one who might struggle to run this game out as well as he's played the first 3 quarters.
Really has drained every drip out of his players, Mick. What have they got left is the question.
Asprey. The other man who could be crucial is Warnock. Does that bit of ruck work there to Robinson was really good. Robinson didn't have any pressure around the stoppage either.
Does the game start to open up a little bit after they really run hard in the opening part of this final quarter and then tired legs for some? Will we see that? Or will it be tight to the finish? 22 points, absolutely not a worry in a modern game of footy, as everyone knows. Thomas to Murphy. Need a centering ball, and Murphy's given them that chance. Chaplin helped it on its way beautifully to Pettard. Back to Chaplin. He's going to come back at him, though. White. Tui's under the pump. It was a bad handball setting him up. Simpson will get him out of trouble. He's a star. Now Jamison, who missed a running goal towards the end of that third quarter, but this is a good kick to Garland. Here's the little one into the pocket to Allard. And Allard well within range, but it's tight.
And now it's Carlton who are going through the forward half of the ground without a lot of pressure, time and space. You saw Jamison there, and Allard had worked hard and had some space inside 50. They're getting enough chances here, Carlton. They just have to start kicking goals.
I don't know about that mouth guard being tucked in and under the front end there, Das, but a little unusual. A little tasty. As Allard comes in, about 35 metres the kick, and it's across the face. Just haven't been able to kick the real big goal. The Blues tonight.
But they've had, as Das said, plenty of opportunities, and they're 5-1 in the clearances in this last quarter so far, and Warnock's having a real influence.
The last 4 scores of the game going the Blues' way. Lucas around the corner. Basher did well. Been a great get for Richmond. Basher Hawley. Yaron was interfered with.
Contact.
I hope they don't pay advantage. They do. Around the corner. Henderson got it. Henderson takes the mark. A difficult angle again, though. He'll need to work this ball and feather it off the boot left to right. He decides to go to the top of the square. How can Menzel be alone there? Look at the Richmond defenders shaking their heads.
Jack, move out, please.
Speaking of heads, that's got a bit of something in it.
That's your line.
It's the old gripper, I reckon, isn't it?
That's not the spot to put gripper, is it?
I don't know what's going
They
on
put it
there.
on their jumper above the lapel or something. Menzel to get it back to 15. A simple kick. 20 metres out. Goal. Richmond by just 15.
Talented player, that young man, Troy Menzel. His brother's tragically facing his 4th knee reconstruction down at Geelong, but he's got some class. He's playing his 9th game. He's been a multiple goal kicker in 4 of his 8 previous games.
Got this one, guys.
Let's have a look at this here. David Asprey's run straight past Menzel. Floston's had to go with the lead there from Ellard, I think it was, but he was standing there for a good 10 seconds, Menzel, and that is inexcusable at this level.
We have got a ball game here. Make no mistake, 15 points, and Carlton have got a clearance to go with that.
Right there.
Fair slips catch, that was.
Always spectacular is Robbo. Centering ball. Here they go again. White punishes it forward. Yaron the man. Was he interfered with? Yes. Unrealistic attempt.
Unrealistic marking attempt. He was directly under the ball.
Yaron
Straight back to him.
for goal number 4.
It's got a familiar feel to it, this one, hasn't it? It's got elimination final all over it, where Richmond were out in front. It was game over. Damien Hardwick, he's aging in dog years at the moment.
10 seconds.
Chris Yaron starts the approach. Bit of distance he's got to cover here. He'll kick it from about 48. And that's no good either. That's barely a behind.
Richmond have got some real problems, though, coming out of defence. They cannot get any run and carry it all here at the moment. They cannot maintain possession. And Carlton have just got them locked in, peppering the goals.
So the last 5 scoring shots now belonging to the Blues. Rowe goes over the back, Rewalt.
Well, he's had to come down to the defensive half of the ground just to get near the football at the moment.
Now Vickery's pushed up down the line. And that's where Jack goes. No one forward of where Vickery is now. Ball punched to the line. Here's Buckley. Been impressive, as Das pointed out tonight. Thomas just in the nick of time to Curnow. Curnow without a lot of thought did well. Bell, the runner Murphy now important. Murphy, little kick out wide. He saw Waite and found him. Long way out. It's a long kick there tonight from that position.
Gee, that was a great kick from Mark Murphy. He's had an amazing night.
Waite, not sure whether he's got this in him or not. Kick on the way is once again out of bounds on the full this time.
Lengy, what's it like down at ground level? Richmond appear to not be able to get any overlap run at all at the moment.
No, exactly right, Richo. They're going long nearly every time from the kick out or from the position here. They do it again. In that first half, they were able to find that short, uncontested kick. Terrific mark by Asprey.
Is that just because Richmond players have stopped working hard to find that space, Lingy?
Stopped running as hard, and I think Carlton have definitely tightened up their defence. They've hemmed it in there really well.
And here's what you're talking about. They're just going contest to contest, Lingy.
Well, Carlton are playing a really strong one-on-one brand of football at the moment. That means you've got to push really hard to try and outrun your direct opponent. There's no overlap, there's no loose number. It's hard work when it's one-on-one. It's who wants to work harder, and at the moment I think Carlton are.
Once again, a shocking boundary throw in there. It should have been recalled. Edwards goes long and deep. Martin's got to beat a couple. Tui, little casual. He thought Henderson was going to apply the Shepherd, did not. Got to go Lucas. Fresh man. Chaplin has a lunge, can't get him. He's out in clear space. Southern stand wing. Couple of bounces for Lucas. Needs to finish now, and he can't. Grimes. What about that? Grimes didn't have the confidence to go to Foley then. It's almost like the point of the game. They just close up and clam a bit.
Yeah, they are a bit, but they are dominating this last quarter. Time in forward half, 85% Carlton, 9 inside 50s to 2. They've got enough footy here and enough time to win it, Carlton. Just have to score.
Gee, that's a good kick. Simpson gives Robinson a little good look. He went the low ball looking for Waite. Waite got the jukes on it, couldn't hold it. Newman was clever and clean. Back to Asprey. Opportunity blown. Here's Allard. Stands in front of Basher. Absorbs all he has to give. And then bounces up again and sprays it.
Great effort from both Allard and Basher Hooley there.
Gee, got up quick from that, Allard. Well done.
Yeah, it was fantastic. So once again, Richmond will have to go long, as you see there, down the line. You're relying on contested marks.
Every time, Richo. And allows Carlton to do that and lock it in their forward end.
BT, just quickly an update on the rotations of Richmond. They're up to 114 interchanges. Of course, the new cap's 120, and we're still 11 minutes to go in this quarter. So they could run out of interchanges pretty quickly, the Tigers.
Gee, that is intriguing.
Well, it looks like that, doesn't it, at the moment?
Yeah, 114. They are going to have to be conservative from here on in.
I would say that's an outrageous deliberate there. That sort of went straight back down the line. Not sure what else you can do.
Simpson, here's Curnow. Worked hard into the position now. From that position, Richmond have just been going to one-on-ones, but someone works hard, gets out of the loop, and you get a little squaring kick. And more important, you maintain possession.
There'll be some players out there who will have the ghost of the elimination final firm in their mind for Richmond. They'll be thinking, not again, surely we're not going to get overrun from an impossible position again. And that starts to play on your mind. You start to doubt yourself and your ability.
Dylan Buckley to Robinson. Robinson long to Waite. Off hands. Here's Jeffy. Jeffy runs into an open goal and stumps the post. They cannot find the opening tonight, Carlton.
They can't, but it's going to be won by those guys at ground level. Been saying it for the whole second half. Garlett and Yarran.
Oh, Mitch just about played his stack in the box. He can't believe Garlett missed that.
Just got to kick the goal. You can't be fiddling around with balls on the deck.
So you say a drop punt there, Brian, straighten and drop punt.
Ball on boot, advance it forward in the air. Come on. He's gone the inside out, banana along the deck, degree of difficulty, hard.
Well, as the boys are pointing out, it was Carlton player down was Gibbs, but no free kick, doing a 50-metre penalty is. It was a big moment actually because he was trapped in the left back pocket as Gibson Chapman go on with it a bit.
Few jumperies have been the order of the night tonight when players have engaged. Edwards marks, and this is one of their rare venture forwards in the first 10 minutes of this last quarter. The Tigers. Delidio gets them deep. Ty Vickery over the back. Jack was dangerous. Murphy's got it all to do.
And Murphy worked the hardest on the ground to get back there and provide support at ground level, the captain.
Thomas with a running barrel. Yarran needs to work under that. Flostone got it a little too easy there. Kick inside looking for Basher. It always gave Menzel a chance, didn't it, to pick the ball cleanly up in the middle. Turns around. Carlton have found space. Jeffy over the top. Here's Gibbs. Couldn't get there on the full. What does he do now? Along the ground. Along the ground.
Oh, there's the moment.
Yes. Go along the ground anytime you want. If you can do it, you can do it. Boy, Bryce Gibbs with an absolute power to get the Blues within 7.
He's had a horror night, Bryce Gibbs. But all you need is just one moment that changes the game. Kane Lucas, the sub, has been sensational since he came on. Really set it up. Had no right to kick this goal, Bryce Gibbs. They've missed 6 absolute gimmies. And then he pulls that one out from the pocket. And Richo, there is just a feeling around this ground. Damien Harbuck's face sums it up. Not again, surely not again, the Richmond people are saying here.
Well, Mick will not let it go. Not 1-on-1. Carlton now got 7 forwards, and they'll just roll that around. They want it to be a 1-on-1 contest at the moment.
Tigers haven't kicked the goal for 29 minutes, and Carlton have kicked 4. 2 in this last quarter. Now within a goal and a bit, 7 points. Buckley has been really, really impressive tonight. Inside 50, yet again. Beautiful tap down from Waite. Little left foot of Menzel. They're within a point. Carlton are within a point. Richmond fans do not know what to do. Do we hide? Do we leave? Or do we support?
What is going on here at the MCG? This is outrageous. That sums it up right there. The Richmond faithful, they cannot believe it's happening again from nowhere. They were out by as much as 37 points, Richmond, and they just, you surely thought, not again. It can't happen again like the final, but it is just all Carlton. The momentum's irreversible at the moment.
But they can't win the contested ball. It's 26-13 to Carlton. And Richmond's prime movers have to get their hands on the ball. That's one thing they can do as a leader, and you have to put your head over it and win a big contested ball.
Richmond have got a free. All too much for Damien Hardwick. He's gone down to the boundary and feels he can get a better lick from there. Richmond with Hampson. Ellis manhandled Buckley.
Carlton are out everywhere here now, down the ground.
They led by 37. The Tigers, as Das pointed out. Here's Henderson. Half forward, long ball. Wait the target. A genuine one-on-one. Jukes out in front. Hardwick says, I don't know what to do. And mixed wrap, because Carlton, for the first time, other than the first minute of the game, they can hit the front.
Well, they're winning the big one-on-ones, the Blues. Waite takes a contested mark there. It's been an outstanding turnaround since half-time. Mitch Robinson this quarter.
Waite.
5 inside 50s, 8 touches.
Richmond by a point. Waite steps to the plate and scores a level as we enter red time.
What about that? They're doing everything they can, Carlton, not to win it. Missing goals that you would just kick every day of the week. Can this Richmond side find something now? It's a great test of their character. It's happened so often against Carlton. Can they get off the canvas?
Boy, there's a real gorilla jumping on board Richmond at the moment. Alice. Hooley, who's brave enough to go through the middle and outmaneuvered Ty Vickery by Rowe.
Well, this can't win a one-on-one contest. Rowe wins there.
No, he's kicked it into the man on the mark. Ty said, I'll take you on. Great composure to be spun on the tackle and see Jack at the door. Martin a little well on the ground.
Let's see the run here from Carlton on a fast kick in if they can get some overlap.
Who do you turn to, Lingy, to try and get momentum back for Richmond? Who are the 2 or 3 players capable of turning this around?
Well, it's a free kick here to Carlton. Richmond nearly had the chance to kick a goal, but it's got to come down to your leaders, your stars. The reason why they're your great players. Deledio got to get himself back into the game. Cochin, Martin, these types of players. And then jack up forward. Anytime that ball goes forward, just got to fight to the absolute death to either trap it in there or take the mark. You really look to your strong leaders, your great players, to stand up now in this part of the game.
Gee, Yaron was lucky to get away with that. He was very, very relaxed in his marking attempt and then got a dodgy free. There's Gibbs. Ball kept alive for the Tigers. Centre half forward, White did well to lock up Griffith. and then find the boundary line.
42 minutes since Richmond has scored a goal, which is just remarkable.
Have a look at Pettard there, pointing the finger at Yaron, saying, you didn't quite do the right thing there, and have a red-hot crack, I reckon. Here's Martin. Foley, up and under, not sure where that one was going. Simpson hung on to Alice. Free kick, Brandon Ellis. 5.5 minutes remaining.
Just retarded enough.
So Alice, Richmond a chance to lock this in with a full press here. Give themselves as many opportunities at scoring as possible. Rewalt, Yaron, was that deliberate?
Here we go, boys, come on. Stay on the toes.
Some space around this contest, more than you would think at this stage of the game. There's tired players, and you would have hoped more Carlton players would have got back here to try and force this into another ball up.
Robertson caught one in the head. Rewalt with a little poker out the back.
It's a good result for Carlton because now they get possession of the football and Simpson is pushing hard.
2-point ball game. Simpson with one of his not so good kicks tonight. Allows Frostone to pick it up. Pursuit by Menzel. Handball, Thomas with the slip. Curnow needs to lock him up now. He does. Tigers have got to respond. Foley did well. Hands to Greg. Tigers need a mark. What have they got? Griffiths over the top. Edwards trying to get through. Robinson just bungles it out, but standing tall, Hampson. So now the Tigers lock it up at their forward end. Hampson, long and deep. Griffiths from the side, off hands Murphy, wanted the free and got it.
He's been enormous, Mark Murphy. 9 clearances, 26 possessions. He's
14 contested possessions too.
Have a look at this.
He's led the way.
He wants to take the risk and go fat side of the ground, but no one got there. Kick wasn't so good, and Curnow left flat-footed as Thomas glides.
They let him down his teammates there a bit. He needed more run and more options, but out on their feet, both sides here.
Just a little too early to be going down the line here. Rowe to the boundary, but players are tired, Darce, as you say.
Yeah, they're out on their feet, I reckon, both teams at the moment. What's it feel like, Lingy?
Oh, you're spot on, guys. There's a lot of tired players out there, but it's going to take somebody just to ignore that and burst through the pack for the Blues.
Buckley clobbered as he kicked the footy, legally though. Through the Frostone hands, he's got time to recover. Little one out the back to Foley. Foley to Morris. Morris shreds the needle magnificently. And Pettard. 3.5 minutes.
Richmond are just relying on someone taking a massive mark here to try and kick a goal.
They've wasted a good 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes here. Rewalt's got the free here. Advantage paid. Edwards has messed it up. Oh, no. Oh. Vickery not paid the mark. A little bit of goal. Richmond have somehow found a way through. They lead it by 8.
Now, if you look down at the ground now, you see a lot of Richmond players signalling for numbers to come back. They've been in this position before over the last 18 months. As we look at the replay, Jack Rewalt was played a free kick. Shane Edwards took the advantage and nearly muffed it and did. What an amazing last quarter.
Well, it was pretty clever there, Jack Rewalt, because he actually launched himself at Buckley, who was trying to get out the way. With fresh air swing, and well, again, that's just a horrible kick, isn't it, from Robbie Warnock in that situation. He had to get it further out of defence.
So there's 5 forwards to Richmond, 7 forwards for Carlton. 1-on-1.
3 minutes just under remaining. Still plenty of time for the Blues. 8 points, although Richmond can lock it up with a bit of poise. Footy once they get hold of it. Lucas launches the high footy. Gibbs was there. In front is Pettard. Done well tonight, Pettard. Newman to Hooley. Newman points in the middle. Hooley says no. It's time to go down the line, and I think he's probably right, because if you don't mark it, that can happen. And that's a good result for Richmond. 2:28. Got to be gutsy now.
Yeah, they've got to take a massive risk here. Warnock's got to slap this one into the corridor. Take the game on and get a quick goal. Smart play from Cochrane. It's all in Richmond's favour now. They can just take their time.
You need to look at the setup across the ground. Pettard is coming back as a loose player behind the football. Carlton have got an extra around the stoppage, though.
So we boil down to just over 2 minutes remaining here. Carlton needs some clean, clear footy. They've got just a little here. They need a one-on-one win. Pettard's been good, but the soccer by Gibbs to no avail. And Richmond have been told to play on here. Gee, didn't give him much time.
Jeez.
Boy, he was hot on the whistle then. And now Waite goes for home and misses.
Well, that's a bizarre decision. That's the umpire reading the game and wanting it to move on.
Yeah.
It's not in the context of...
Caught up in the moment, I reckon.
Yeah, let's hope Ben Griffiths
unless he had stepped off the line, that was a quick play-on call.
I don't reckon he had, Richo.
Yeah, that probably wasn't correct then.
And I was watching him. He was pretty keen, the umpire, as he was cheered on by the crowd to get it moving. Still got to be poised enough. The umpires in this situation as well. Comes back here for the Blues. A minute 41. They need to goal and stop the clock. It's now absolutely imperative and urgent. Morris pours a hole through there. Thomas caught in the tackle. They lock it at their end, Carlton. Still enough. Still enough time with a minute 30.
Good find, I reckon, that man, Matt Thomas. An interesting story. Started at Port Adelaide. Won the McGarry medal in the Sandford last year. He's a hard nut. He adds a bit to this Richmond side.
I think he played the first 4 for Port as well. Here's Murphy. Can get them to the top of the square. They must make something happen here. Oh, that was a sensational running jump there from Pettard. Well done.
There's a lot of space on the fat side if someone's prepared to work hard here for Hawley.
What that point's done, though, it's opened it up to 6 points. So, minute 13, Carlton goal, we've got a draw.
An eternity for Richmond to hang on to the footy if they want. I reckon a draw is looking really, really possible here now. Warnock goes down with a cramp. I'm not sure he'll get back up. You can see him there. They continue to play on over the top. Bell's pulled to the ground. In goes Grigg. Carlton are desperate here. What can the Tigers do? Rewalt. Delidio. Thomas. They're all there. Grigg. Oh, he's not by a couple. Out of bounds.
Robbie Warnock, he's got to find something. If he's got cramp, you have to get on your feet and get this one out. This is the contest. This is the one. If it goes Carlton's way, they're a chance. Goes the other way, it's a Richmond win.
There's another hit out to advantage for Warnock. Didn't quite work for Thomas. A mark can do it here for the Blues. Griffiths has marked for the Tigers with 30 seconds remaining. Deep in defence. Goes down the line. Rowe tries to punch it back. It's out over the back. Here's Thomas. Just got to advance it forward. He does. 15 seconds remaining. An opportunity for the Tigers. Martin turns Tui around and goals. Richmond are home by 2. The Tigers have fought a gallant Blues off. Sensational game here between these two rivals.
Have a look at the celebration there from Dustin Martin. It's a pretty handy move to have him in the goal square one-on-one at the late stage. And credit to Richmond, they have faced the biggest onslaught you've ever seen. Everything was going Carlton's way. Damien Hardwick, he loves it. So he should.
Let's have a listen to the Richmond fans when the siren sounds. Look at the army. The Richmond army. Let's get down to Cameron Lee.
Well, a very, very happy tie victory.